Hey guys, and how's it going? Maniac Mower here. Previously on the channel, in another video that I had made, somebody had left a comment, a fan or a subscriber, I think you're a subscriber, left me a comment on my last video I did on the round fender. He was saying he found a 110. It was sitting in a barn for sale. He tried buying it and the price just kept going up on it. And he was asking me what a good price for it would be. It was a square fender with the 8-horse Kohler in it. I'm not looking at the comment right now, but I could read it off to you guys. I did put a screenshot of it. At least there should be a screenshot of it on the screen right now. But what I'm going to do, and I did make videos on this in the past I did a whole 100 series video. I did the 70s, I did the 60s, I did the round fenders, the patios, and the hydraulic lifts. So if you want to go watch that, you can. But we're just kind of going to touch on it again. I'm probably going to end up making another video on this topic in the future, when I've got a few more attachments than I do right now, and maybe a 140. I don't have a 140 here right now, so I can't really do a look over on one of them. I will tell you though, 140s, 120s, the 140s are a little bit more common than the 120s. The 120s, they only made them for 2 years. I think they only made them for 2 years. 70 and 71. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go over the options you could get with the 100 series. I don't have a 140 or 120 like I said, so I really can't show them off. But I do know a little bit about the 140s. I'm not going to do the 200 series in this video. I could, but I don't really specialize in them. There are a few other people who do, though. I'm more into the 100 series. These are my... If I had to choose, I would say the 100 series are probably my go-to tractors because I've worked on so many of them. I'm even building one right now. Building a 110 currently over there. So, I guess we can go on ahead and start on attachments and things like that. We are going to go over attachments. I pulled the 73 up for this one because it's got something on it that a lot don't, and this is something to look out for too. But this is the exact same on that 112 over there. This 112 here might be a little bit different actually. This 112 and this 112 here, and also that 110 in the other room. For the 110s and 12s, square fenders, they made snow plows, snow blowers, same with the round fenders too, snow plows and snow blowers. I think there was a few other front attachments for them, I'm not sure, for these. And they had a front lift linkage that went from back there all the way to here, and there's a little thing that hangs down here to hook up your front linkage attachments to. If you see that hanging down, front linkage will raise the value of it a little bit. I've heard those called wieners. I've heard them called other things like that. Bar tires, stuff like that, that'll also raise the price up a little bit if it's got bar tires on it or if it's got turf tires. They do make different front tires such as 3 rib, 5 rib. I think the 5 rib probably look better on these than the 3 rib. I don't like the look of the 3 rib that well. They also have tail lights, front lights. Usually the 100 series didn't have tail lights. If they had headlights, they had tail lights. Some of them did, some of them didn't. They also had headlight. They didn't have headlights on some of them did. Cigarette lighters as well. All the 140s had cigarette lighters. All the 110s and 12s usually didn't. Some of them did if it was specially ordered. Some of them didn't. This 112 doesn't. None of mine do. Something that this tractor has that some of them don't: rear lift linkage. That's something to look out for on one of these 110s and 112s. Is front and rear lift linkage both. If you can get rear lift linkage, you better get it. That's the same for the patio and also that 112 right there. Ground fenders did have rear lift linkage as well. I don't think it was as common because you had to take it off after taking the attachment off. At least I think, because it was a cable. I'm not sure on that. But this is something to watch out for on here. Engine wise, they all did pretty much the same. It just, this has a 12 horse in it. That would have a 10 horse in it. That's got a 10 horse Tecumseh in it. That would be a 10 horse Kohler. That would be a 10 horse, but it's an 8 horse like the 110s. This would be a 10 horse, but it's a 12 horse right now because I put a 12 horse in it. And it's kind of obvious what that would be. Look at the hood. So, rear attachments they made for the 1 and 200 series. The 100 series and the 200 series, they were both the exact same. They made a sleeve hitch that would come off the back and lift a plow, a disc, a chisel. They also made rear tillers. I've never had a tiller before. I've seen them though. They also had a mule drive that ran from the front all the way to the back. They did not have a rear PTO. At least that I know of. I know the 140s did. Wheel weights, chains, that'll also raise the price up a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Condition of the tractor overall. If it's all rusted out, there's holes in it and things like that, that might lower the value of it. If the hood's all smashed up and cracked, that'll lower the value of it too. However, if the hood is perfect, that might make the value of the tractor a little bit better. This is, I would consider, an okay hood, even though there is a crack right there. You could fix that up and make it look a lot better. Lift options will also raise the value up of a tractor a lot. Electric lift, manual lift with helper spring, and also hydraulic lift. I'm not sure if electric lift or hydraulic lift had helper spring on them too. I don't think they did. I think that was just on the manual lift. I think that is it. I think that is it. So, for this tractor, I know this tractor, I know how it runs, I know how it drives. If I was to go and look at this tractor as it sits right now with rear lift linkage, snowplow on the front, all covered, I should have cleaned them all up, but it is winter out like I said, so I'm not running the hose right now. I would probably offer for this tractor maybe even if I was to sell it, I'd probably sell it for maybe $800 as it sat with the snowplow and with the mower deck on it. And if I leave the rear linkage on it, the rear linkage, you could sell that for $200 itself. If I'm correct, that's how much that'll go for. So the rear linkage just makes it worth it on its own. Mower decks. They made a 38-inch mower deck, and they also made a 47-inch. The 47-inch is the desirable mower deck. Number one, it's bigger, and number two, it does a lot better. They actually cut really well. I have a few of them. I use them, and they do a really good job in my yard. Can't complain. Let's see. Now, if this tractor wasn't running, I would probably pay maybe $200 for it. But I know how this tractor runs, so, and it does run, and it runs really good. Let me get this one pushed back, and we'll take a look at the hydraulic lift next. So let's take a look at this hydraulic lift. I should have moved it up a little bit, but I'm not going, but I didn't. Hydraulic lift will go for a little bit more than the electric lift and manual lift. Usually they're the more desirable tractor. Unfortunately though, the hydraulic lift is not on this tractor. So, personal opinion, this tractor has no lift linkages on it at all. Personally, if I was to run across this tractor, I wouldn't even bother with it after seeing the electric lift was gone, or manual lift. Hydraulic lift was gone, that and the engine was a Tecumseh. As soon as I were to see that, I wouldn't buy the tractor. I wouldn't care if it had a thing on it or not, even if I was just buying it as a parts donor. If I was buying it as a parts donor, I probably would still buy it without that. But some people do end up keeping the pumps off of them because you can't really buy them anymore, and they're pretty expensive to sell. Not expensive to sell, but you make a lot off them if you sell them. So people do end up keeping them, unfortunately, and that's what happened with this. Grill and headlight bezel. I think the headlight bezel goes for about $200. I'm not sure about the grill. I think the grills go for about $200 as well. Usually tractors will come with them, but there is that rare occasion they don't. So that'll lower the value of them too. This tractor doesn't have any special features on it except for the missing hydraulic lift. So there's not really much to show on this tractor. If I was to buy it as it sits, I wouldn't pay more than $150 for it as it sits right now. When I bought it, it was just a frame. It was going to be a parts donor, but I ended up deciding I wanted to get it running, so I did. And I guess I just wanted a project, something around the shop to work on, so I paid a little bit much for it when I got it, but in the condition it was in, but I wanted it. I wanted something to mess with, so I got it and I messed with it, and now it's in a condition where I'm happy with it right now. I do have some plans for this tractor though, so here soon we'll go into them. In 1969, John Deere introduced the custom color garden tractors. The custom colored tractors were the red, yellow, blue, and orange. There was patio red, that's what this one is. Sunset yellow, that's what the yellow hooded 112 was I used to have. That was a sunset yellow. Autumn, no, wait a minute. Was that autumn yellow or sunset yellow? Oh my God. Let's try this again. There was patio red, like what this one is. Sunset, I think it was orange. Yeah, sunset orange, April yellow, spruce blue. Those were the colors of the patios. The hood and the seat were the colors. The rest of the tractor was white, such as the engine, the tire rims. The grill on the later ones was black. The ones on the earlier ones were yellow or Yellow. They were black. Huh. The grills on the earlier patios were yellow. The ones on the later patios were black. Engines, I think the later ones had black engines and the earlier ones had yellow or white engines. A patio, if it was running, I actually have had a few offers made on this tractor itself. People have messaged me. People have actually stopped here and tried to buy it off me. Every offer I've pretty much turned down. There was one offer that I wish I would have taken for it, but I didn't want it. I don't want to get rid of it. I want to keep this one. This is one of them I'm going to keep. So I turned it down. I would say if this patio was running, it had an engine sitting in it, it was complete with a mower deck, it would be worth probably about $1,000, maybe $1,000, maybe $15,000, somewhere around there. Or $1,500, excuse me, not $15,000. As it sits right now, probably worth $500 or $600 as it sits. It is a patio. I'd show you guys the tag, but the tag unfortunately got wire wheeled because some paint got on it. So I need to get a new tag made for it. I do plan on doing that here in the future. I do have a picture of the tag. I'll have to take it in with me when I go to do that. I think that's it for the patios. In 1963, John Deere first started getting into the lawnmower business. This was their first attempt at a lawnmower, which actually is a very nice one. This is a 1967. The first round fender was made in 63. I don't know the model number of it. And they went from 63 to 67. In 63, they made the 110. They didn't have the 112 yet. I'm not quite sure why they started making the 112. But 66, they introduced the 112 with the 10 horse Tecumseh. And it was basically the exact same thing as the 110, all except for the Tecumseh, the bigger engine. And the PTO pulley was a little bit different. They had 2 pulleys instead of 1. The 112s had a 47-inch mower deck. The 110s had a 39-inch mower deck. Both were 3 blades. There wasn't much different about that. Just the size of the shell, that's pretty much it. Shell and blades. This tractor, they do consider this a classic. Along with the patio, they consider that a classic tractor too. If I was to sell this, or if I was to buy this tractor as it sits, it needs new rings and all 4 tires hold air. That back one back air leaks over a month. But it does hold air. I would probably say this tractor as it sits, if it was cleaned up, would be worth maybe $500 or $600. Not very much. I have seen them go for $1,000 though, if they are original or if they've been restored. They usually go for $1,000 or a little bit over that. I've seen them go for a lot more than $1,000 at auctions though. Options that they had for them, they had front snow plows, they had a snow plow, snow blower. They also had a rear plow and disc and chisel that would go on a sleeve hitch. I've never seen a sleeve hitch. I have seen a sleeve hitch for one of these, but I've never owned one before. I've never owned a sleeve hitch for a square fender either, but I have seen them and I have used them on my tractors. Some things to watch out for on the round fenders. Usually people steal these covers off of them. These covers are actually pretty expensive and pretty hard to find. I found this on eBay for 20 bucks, so I caught it quick and I got it. I remember saying this is actually the one for a Tecumseh motor. This is actually the one for a Kohler. I looked at them side by side and found that out, so I was wrong. I thought they had 3 lines on them and were a little bit more designed for the Kohlers than the Tecumseh ones, but I guess not. Another cover that goes missing on them is this PTO cover over here. That usually is gone. Same with that belt cover. They usually end up getting taken off of them by somebody who knows a little bit about these tractors. They'll pull them off and they'll sell them without them. Then they'll go on eBay and end up selling that cover or the covers over here. I've run into that a few times. Not on tractors I've bought, but tractors friends of mine have bought, and they'll just turn around and sell them. They'll sell the covers on eBay. We had a pretty interesting situation with one of my buddies. He sent the guy a message and said, "I thought you said you didn't have covers for that tractor." And it just kind of went back and forth. He ended up giving the covers to him for free because of that. So, yeah, that was a fun little story. Moving on to the 68 112, not very much special about this tractor. It does have front linkage though. I'd put this in probably about the same price range. Not running. When I bought this tractor didn't run. It had a 10 horse Tecumseh on it. Not a very good engine. Not very well at all. This has factory bar tires on it. Those are not factory to this tractor, but they are the factory tires that it would have. The Goodyear bar tires. Front turf tires. When I bought this tractor, it was sitting. I ended up paying $150 for it. It sat in a barn. One of those, it has 3 walls, but 1 wall is missing barn. I'm not sure what you'd call that, but it was dusty and stuff like that. Tires were flat, no good. I ended up putting new tires on it. Actually, I put tubes in those tires, and I used them for a while, but I ended up replacing them with these tires. I do still have the tires this tractor came with. One of them is on this tractor. This tire right here came off that 68. And I did put a tire tube in it. I do remember doing that. What else? I think I talked about what to look for when you see them sitting. How to know how long they've been sitting. Another way to tell how long a tractor has been sitting is if it has a battery in it. You could look at the battery that's in it. If it says 2014, then that's probably about how long it's been sitting. Or someone tried putting a different battery in it and trying to get it to run, but it would not run. This tractor sat for about 20 years before I got it and got it running again. I think the reason that it was parked was that bad engine, and also the transmission had some problems. I have plowed with this tractor before actually, and I think I have disked with it too. I know I've plowed with the SID 216. I have a video of it, but I couldn't find it, so I didn't put it in my video that I made. And I think that is just about it. Gonna go on ahead and get off here. I hope this video helped you guys out a little bit when it comes to these tractors and pricing them and options, what to look for. I do have a 100 series and 200 series videos I have done on these tractors. I'm talking about different features on them, stuff like that. I think I made it a playlist. I can't remember if I did or not. But I talked about the 100 series, such as the round fender, years, tags, stuff like that. How to tell if it's a patio, or how to tell if it's what year it is, hydraulic lift, manual lift, stuff like that. So I will leave a link to that playlist in the description if you want to go watch it. I think I just give a little bit more detail about some stuff on that playlist. I'm just haven't really been in the best mood lately. Christmas was hard for me. It was very hard for me. Unfortunately, there's some stuff going on in our family. No drama or anything like that, but just with a certain family member, and it was very hard to watch on Christmas. So trying to stay in a positive mood right now, that and the crookedness that's been going on with our country. It's just been a shame. It's been a shame to sit there and watch that. I've gotten so tired of it, I've turned it off and just said, I'm done with this. People are backstabbing everybody, and it's just outrageous. So, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.